What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Queer and Present Danger. My name is JB, and I am one of your hosts. Along with, I know I didn't do the thing where I said, hey, we're about to start. I just started it. And the reason that I did that is because when I went to hit the button, I said, okay, guys, you ready? I went to put the thing in, and it asked me all the questions, and I answered all the questions. And then it just started, and I was like, oh, oops. So I guess I should just start it. And so that's what I did. But I say all that to say welcome.
We're
My name is
professionals.
Well-oiled machine. But welcome everyone to another episode of Queer and Present Danger, where we do our best to figure out what's happening in life. Like we don't know. We're just here.
Yeah.
So there's that. And that's not what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do. Sorry. At any rate, I'm JB. We have our other hosts. You can introduce yourselves while I try to figure out where I went wrong with life. What happened? What? Did Tyler just leave?
Tyler dropped off. That made it even better.
Did you just? You were like, I don't want to be a part of this anymore.
Fucking funny. Okay.
No, I had to. I just switched to my studio light.
Oh,
There it is. Had to get that proper lighting.
she
Get
had to
that
get
proper
her. She had to get her
queer
lighting
lighting.
together, girls.
Hi everybody. I'm Tiki Andreok. I'm here. I'm alive. I'm kicking it down the street. It's been a crazy month.
Yeah.
But God, it's only been a month. Fuck. Since the election. I just don't know why that just hit me. It feels like it's been forever.
It's been
a funny it has been a
years.
funny forever.
Yes,
It's been 45 years, but it has been a funny forever.
it's
I can't wait to talk about it tonight.
Yeah, like we've actually been talking about how much we were all looking forward to this show in particular, because we all have things that we want to get off of our chest and things that we want to say and ways we want to say it, and we're gonna do that here for you. Why am I being this way today? What is going on?
I don't know. It's a thing.
Don't-
Tyler,
What were
your
you
intro.
doing?
Hello, your intro?
Hello, everyone. I am Tyler Thulin. Is my mic working?
Yes,
Awesome. All right.
we didn't do no
I'm
mic
Tyler.
check. We didn't do none of those things.
No.
We didn't it was like you've seen.
It was a JV
these
intro.
cold openings on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
This was like that, even without a script.
It was the coldest opening.
This was North Dakota freezing. That's what this was.
I'm wearing a sweater. It was so cold.
He just wanted to tie in that sweater.
Yes.
Your sweater is very cute.
I love this sweater. Makes me feel all warm and cozy.
Bear surrounding a piece of wood.
It's 20 days till Christmas. 20. This is is it just okay. Is this like the latest Thanksgiving that we have had ever? Because it sure as hell feels like it.
It is a very late Thanksgiving, and it just so happened to be the way that it fell this year. But it was a very late Thanksgiving.
For y'all.
Because I saw people put
Well,
their
late
Christmas
because of the
lights
end of the
up
month.
2 weeks before Thanksgiving, and I'm like, it's not even Thanksgiving. And then Thanksgiving hits, and then they're like, it's 25 days until Christmas, and I'm like, oh, that's
Oh,
why.
shit.
Okay.
I mean, yeah. That's normally how it goes.
Yeah. So yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, um, you know, guys, listen. here's the deal. Here's the situation. You know, we didn't do an episode 2 weeks ago because, quite frankly, I just didn't have it. Like, you know, I had to process the things. And one of the things that helped me process through all of this was being on Beyonce's internet and her and them telling us the consequences of the actions of those people who may have voted against the best interests of the people in their lives. I think that's a good way to put that. You know, people who, shall we say, they fucked around and they found out.
Yeah.
That's basically what happened, and so I thought it would be fun on this cold winter's night to talk about maybe some of our favorite F around and find out, and see what lessons can be learned from these actions. And I think I'm going to start off with one that's near and dear to my own heart. There was a man who was wealthy, and he voted for. He found out that he voted for Kamala Harris, and found out that all of his nieces and nephews, save one, voted for Trump. And this man didn't have any family or any immediate family, no children of his own. So his plan was to give his fortune to his nieces and nephews. When he found out that information, he, went to the local office in which people can, make changes to wills, a lawyer, and he changed his will to give all of his fortune that he has amassed to the one niece who voted for Harris. And to me, I think that's the kind of pettiness that I strive to be one day in my life. I want to be like, oh, so this how you feel? Well, I can show you better than I can tell you. And for me, that just warms the cockles of my heart.
Mm-hmm. And we've seen so many of those. Yes. Like, there's been so many of those things. Like, Thanksgiving was rough for a few people whenever they revealed what was going on in their lives, because, they openly said, well, yeah, I voted for Trump. And people were like, cool, you're not coming to my house for Thanksgiving. And people were surprised. People were confused. And we go back to that idea that it's not that we have a difference in ideas of how to run the government or how to handle things. No, we have a difference in the basis of morality. And if you have yours and it's terrible, then I don't want you in my home.
You keep that energy over there with them people. So, did anyone else have a good, story where folks, fudged around and found out?
Well, I did see a video, which you probably also saw, because it was a pretty viral video of a 92-year-old grandpa who played Fuck Donald Trump.
FTD. He played FTD because he found out two of his sons, I think, voted for Donald Trump. And so he basically said, I'm not going to say the name of the product because it's sitting 2 feet from me, but play whoever sings it, FTD. And then it just starts saying, Donald Trump. And I'm like, it's the greatest thing.
Again, cockles of my heart, feeling warmth.
Yeah. 92-year-old
the family was actually in the other room arguing about politics.
Yep.
And he said, "You know what we're gonna do?"
So,
Grandpa said, "Listen, I ain't playing with y'all."
Grandpa said,
Grandpa said, "Listen, I've been here longer than all the rest of you. I can do what I want." I bet you didn't nobody say nothing to Grandpa. I guarantee you, didn't nobody say nothing to Grandpa. They just let him do it because Grandpa will fight every single one of y'all and don't care. So, Professor Tig, do you have one?
Oh Lord. So this one's just fun for me because, and I've seen this quoted multiple places. I have not confirmed the story personally, which I like to do because I don't like to just spread BS around. That's done enough. But if this is true, it's fantastic. So we all know the great and military genius Hegseth
Oh
being
Jesus!
appointed to the Department of Defense, despite having zero credibility to be able to do that, zero credentials to run that spot. His mother had some words for him.
This is
And
real.
I quote,
This is true.
it is real? Oh, it's even better. I quote, "You are an abuser of women. That is the ugly truth, and I have no respect for any man that belittles, lies, cheats, sleeps around, and uses women for his own power and ego. You are that man, and have been for years, and as your mother, it pains me and embarrasses me to say that, but it is the sad, sad truth. Penelope Hegseth."
So, I will say, in the interest of full disclosure, has come back. She has come out and said that she wrote that in a moment of anger, and she doesn't believe those things, and that she has since apologized to him for writing that email and all of that. And here's what I will say to all of that. You should have said I said what the fuck I said, and kept it moving. Like,
yeah, that was 100% a mother who was like, "This is how I really feel," and then looked at everyone responding to it and was like, "Okay, you are still my child. I am going to try to make this less for you, and I still feel this way, but I'm not going to say it to the public."
Right.
And that's a
But
walk
you
back.
know-
That's what it was.
you know that it's FU for life. You know what I'm saying? Like and that's to me, like, even if I don't know if I could do something so bad that my mother would not just say it, would not tell it to me, but put it in writing, type it all up, read it, proofread it, and then hit send.
and add a nice little graphic too.
Because that means if she were to do that, I would assume that she meant every damn word she said. And if I were him and this information came out, and I'm not trying to help the man out, but just hear me out, I would have said, my mama said that, and she was right, and I'm trying to be a better person.
Yeah.
And shut the fuck up. But see, these people don't know how to. It's almost as if because I'm trying to find the right words. There's no sense of like real accountability. There's no sense of like, I made a mistake. I did something that hurt and harmed the people that I care about, and I need to atone for that.
Well, don't you know that the new motto is "double down till it disappears"?
Can I double down on some of this weight? I want that to disappear. Shit. But I have another good one. So, another one that's near and dear to my heart. Because it involves, black people. I love black people. There was this MAGA influencer who happens to be a queer black man. And his family... Huh?
I said I know this one. Keep going.
His family has decided, because of all of his foolishness, shenanigans, and malfeasance, that he was not invited to their Thanksgiving. They would humbly request that he stay his ass over there. And so he put a call out to his MAGA family to please let him come to their home. And a few people said, sure, come on over. And then on the day of said, you know what? You're a stranger. We don't necessarily want you in our house. We hope you find someone to eat with. Sorry about your luck. Or there were some who were like, yeah, we live an hour away. And he was like, oh, well, I don't have a car. And they were like, well, sorry about your luck. Hopefully you can find somebody to eat with. And so what that tells me, young sir, or sis, I don't know what your pronouns are. I don't care. Because we respect pronouns over here. But...
Yeah, but I doubt he does.
The leopards were right there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And they were circling around. And you said, you know what they're not going to do? Eat my face. And then when the leopards in fact ate your face, which they've done multiple times, sir, documented, like we can see it. We can see the face getting eaten. When all of those people called you a bundle of sticks, and MAGA, they called you that. When the person told you that you're not part of MAGA, they just needed your vote. Like we got it. Like we see it, and we see it because you told us about it. You know what I mean? Like, you wanted us to feel sorry for you for playing stupid games. And I didn't call you to the front of the congregation because, quite frankly, I wasn't going to sully the carpet. Mm-hmm. But I would like to give you a hearty and smooth and emphatic fuck you.
Well, we could just give him an invite and then cancel it at the last minute.
You know what? We could do that. We should. Yeah, that's that's what I should have done. I should have been like, come on, we got you, boo. Sorry, no, can't come here.
Yeah.
I got one more, but I'll let y'all do another round first.
So, one of the things that part of me can't wait for, because I knew it was coming. Like, let's throw this out there. There's been multiple people who have started making posts on social media about how it's like they're tired of Democrats doing this fuck around, find out, joking about how things aren't going the way that they hope. There's several posts about that already telling us to stop doing that.
I won't.
And no is the response. I will be laughing through the hell that is going to be the next 4 years. Because I'm still getting affected by it, but I fucking knew it was coming. It's quite literally that idea of I think I used this analogy with JB when we were talking about it. It's that analogy of like I'm driving along the interstate and roads aren't great, but I'm being a little cautious. I know there's probably some problems up ahead. And this stupid motherfucker in his bright red hat comes flying up behind me, honks at me to get the hell out of the way, flies past me, spins out, crashes in the wall, and bursts into flames. Not even saying he dies, just saying the car bursts into flames. His world is shattered. I have to stop because this dipshit decided to do that. But I'm still gonna laugh at his fucking ass for flying by me and getting karma. Because that's what I can do. And guess what? It's how I heal. It's how I heal from all of the struggles that I'm about to face, is laughing at the stupidity of you idiots. My whole thing that I... Ooh.
It's called Schadenfreude.
Yeah, Schadenfreude. Yeah. I know that's where you're going with it, but I love it. I love it. I remember that.
And I will just say, like, the reason that I'm laughing as hard as I am is because...
Hiding the pain.
Say what?
Hiding the pain.
Yeah.
Because this could have been avoided if people had just, listened to the literal words coming out of that man's mouth. The literal words.
Well, and I look at it as like this. I'm going to find out even though I didn't fuck around. And so what I'm going to do is, rather than being sad, upset, miserable, all of those things, I'm going to laugh through it all and prepare myself as best as I know how, because I knew it was coming. And so, Tyler, you got one before I give the piece de resistance in my corner?
Oh, I've got mine too. Once you...
Huh?
Oh.
I said I do not have a fuck around.
He doesn't have a specifics, but he knows about it.
So,
I mean, yeah.
This was...
I do have one, but I won't share it.
Why not? Is it a personal story? Okay,
Maybe.
well, we'll save that for the after show. Y'all don't get to see the after show. This one is my personal favorite because it's just so good. There was a lesbian in California who voted for Trump. And her reason for her vote was, because she's Jewish, and, Trump full-throated supports Jews. There's a conversation in that, but we'll leave it where it's at. She told her friends and her family, and they no longer wish to speak with her. And she is like, I'm really upset about this. I really feel like, politics shouldn't end friendships. I'm the same person that I was before, and I used to be the person, in 2016, and in 2020, I was the person who, would cut people off because they voted for Trump. And how, now I know how that feels, and it sucks. And to you, I have to say, ma'am, I don't give a damn. You deserve it because you knew what was coming. You knew what the situation was, to the point where you felt strongly enough about it to cut people off in 2 different elections. And what you did was you said, I'm going to put someone in power who is going to ensure that area and that region is going to be worse for the people who live there. it is going to be more dangerous. So what you told all of your friends and your family members who have cut contact off is that you are not safe. You are not a safe person for them to be around and for them to come to you and confide in you and tell you these things. Your friends, you have women in your life. You have people of color in your life, and you actively voted against not just the people around you's best interest, but yours as well. You are not safe. And what you should do, rather than getting onto to Elton John's internet and telling us how we feel bad for you, we should feel bad for you and how this has been so painful and hurtful for you. You should think about the pain and the hurt that you put in to those other people where they felt like they had to cut off contact to save themselves. And I hope that you don't ever get another piece of pussy from here until the end of your days.
Yep.
And so all of those women who are divorcing their husbands, who are breaking up with their boyfriends, who have put these raggedy motherfuckers out because they did not look at you as a person, I say keep going. They look better gone anyway. If you are thinking about it, if you were looking at them like, looking at this person like, I don't even want, like the fact that they voted for this man, knowing the danger that it will put me in, I don't even want to be here no more. But I got to worry about the kids. I got to worry about this. Just do it.
Mm-hmm.
Just do it. I encourage it. Get out of that because that person doesn't value you.
Ooh, that brings up my meme that I told you about.
Yes.
And this meme, I randomly found it, and it encapsulates my entire feelings about this. I will never respect anyone who sold off their daughter's rights to save 50 cents on a carton of eggs. I love that because I've never seen something summed up so perfectly simply as what people who claimed about wanting to do it because the economy wasn't great. The economy, Professor Tig for a moment here.
I didn't put the
economy, you stupid motherfuckers, is not controlled by the president. The economy has never been controlled by the president. The economy, especially in our fantastic capitalistic society, is controlled by the market and market supply and demands for the goods and services that are offered. And if anyone paid even a small inkling of understanding, would recognize three very important factors that occurred during the Biden presidency. The fucking stock market hit record highs numbers of times. Corporations saw larger profits in the last 4 years than ever. They broke it every single year. Our exports, we actually had never had higher exports than we did during the Biden presidency. We also had, I forget exactly what it was, but Biden actually increased our output of gas, our petroleum, to levels it had never reached before, and even had, and I'd have to look up the specifics of it, but even had the genius method of selling a large amount of our reserve from an area that was already being downsized getting money from that, and then whenever petroleum and everything went down in price, he bought it back cheaper, sold high, sold high, bought low. It's literally base level economics, and he did that. He didn't influence the market with that, but he utilized his the bureaucracy of it all to be able to do that with the national stockpiles. He did a lot of smart things. Your $2 or $7, $8 bacon wasn't because the economy wasn't doing well. It was corporate greed, and that was shown numerous times. The pandemic caused prices to plummet. When it came back, they're like, well, we can just start charging more because our supply was so low at the time that we're just going to keep those prices at this stupid level and then slowly take it higher and higher, because why not? We're going to make the money. You need this stuff, and we'll claim it was the supply chain. It was, but that's been fixed.
Yeah,
and the prices are still
fixed.
Ridiculous because they saw the opportunity to make a bunch of idiots give them more money. Did any of you see that money on these record profits that your companies were getting? No. CEOs, billionaires, people at the top saw record increases, and you saw shit. The president doesn't control that. The only way for something like that to actually be controlled and mandated is from Congress. Who was in charge of Congress for the last 2 years?
You talking smart people stuff, you know they can't do that.
What wasn't it like? Oh, what was that person's name?
Yeah, wasn't it a bunch of people wearing red hats?
I don't know how to. I don't know how to pronounce it right.
And any one of you dipshits who try to say, but the Democrats controlled the Senate. Manchin was not, nor were several other people apparently, but Manchin was not a Democrat. He ran as a Democrat, but that man could not have been more right-leaning centrist. Who made millions for his family, by the way. Millions for his family. And I know we can say that about a lot of people in Congress, but that man did.
But we shouldn't be able to say that about anyone in Congress, because they shouldn't be allowed to profit.
It ain't supposed to be like that, but it's like that.
Get a paycheck. It's like.
And now, absolutely. And now I have the other fun Professor Tig wants to share. Okay. Because this is the Fuck Around Find Out edition, and I need you all to understand how much you fucked around and how much you're gonna find out. So just a small list here. Just give me 1 second. First and foremost, tariffs.
Tig explains. Fuck Around and Find Out edition.
Yeah. So yeah, we basically, you voted for the guy who said that he's gonna stick it to these foreign trade partners that have been taking advantage of the United States. I have actual numbers from Census Bureau because I'm Professor Tig. So our total trade, our number one trading partner as of September of 2024, Mexico. Our number two trading partner, China. Our number three, Canada. For the last few years, Canada has actually been number one. But as of September of this year, it was Mexico, Canada, China for total trade. Okay? Imports, exports, etc. We export to Canada 29.2% of our exports. 28.3 goes to Mexico, 11.3 to China. Our imports are 44.2 from Mexico, 34.6 from Canada, and 43.1 from China. What that equates to, for people that are confused, is our deficits. China and Mexico are our two top deficit trading partners. We don't send a lot to China. We don't send as much to Mexico. 31.8% deficit with China. We just don't send shit to China. Number two, Mexico, 15.8%. Canada is not even in the top 15 of our surpluses, and is 5.5% less to Canada than we import. So what you all need to understand is putting tariffs on anything. We can go back to 1932, following the, or it might have been 1930. Either way, during the Great Depression, we decided we were going to do tariffs on other countries, and it was in response to the idea that we were importing so much, so we wanted to basically say, hey, if we're going to import your stuff, we're going to charge you for it, and we're going to take some money back so we can have that. It actually, numerous economists actually reviewed that and discovered it drove us into a deeper depression and made it last longer because of those tariffs. Because two things occurred. Number one, those foreign powers do not pay the tariff. The companies in foreign countries do not pay the tariff. The importers in the United States have to pay that. So if I pay $1 million to China to get a whole bunch of fucking knockoff Legos, I then will have to pay $600,000 to the United States to sell you my imported knockoff Legos. Do you know how I'm going to recoup that loss? What was going to be a 50-cent Lego will now be $1.50, because I need to make money in order to continue my business. And we live in a capitalistic country where my desire for money outweighs your ability to pay. That is what the American companies will do. How do we know this? How do we know this, Professor Tig? Fucking Walmart and Lowe's told you. They made statements that they will increase their prices as a result of the tariff. You don't even have to look far. Google is your friend. It takes 2 seconds to find those quotes from spokespeople representing those two companies. So, if you didn't believe it before, they flat out told you now. But let's just, that's not going to be on that much, right? It might happen that much. Here's a list of prices increasing by 25% as of 1/21/2025. Natural gas, auto parts, automobiles, fruits, nuts, and vegetables. We import almost, I think it's 70% of our fruits and vegetables and nuts from countries that will be hit with these, predominantly Mexico, with these tariffs. Not China, Mexico. So your fucking avocados, a decent number of your goddamn apples, a lot of stuff is going to be more expensive. Your fucking $6 bag of apples that used to be $4 is about to be $8. Electronics and appliances. We get 90% of our stuff from overseas in China because they make it cheaper. Yes, it's because they use practical slave labor, but we are a capitalistic country and we want to save a buck. You won't when there's a 60% or 100% tariff on it. Companies will charge you more so they can recoup their losses, and they've been getting record profits. You think they're going to let those end? You think they're going to let a $6 to $8 billion increase in their profits end? You all really are that stupid. Not done yet, though. Oil and gas. We import more oil and natural gas from Canada than any other country.
Well, that's why we're trying to be energy
25%.
independence.
Huh?
That's why we're trying to get energy independence.
You're both doing the same. It's amazing.
That's why they wanted the Keystone Pipeline.
I have so many thoughts about the Keystone Pipeline, and I don't want to make other talk. Professor Tig's going to stay focused. that's a whole other talk. Medical instruments. That's a fantastic one. Did you all know that we don't make a lot of our medical instruments in this fucking country? We don't make them here. We import the parts if we make them here. If we don't make them here, they're getting made in China, they're getting made in the EU, they're getting made in Canada, they're getting made in Mexico. For the love of God, I just bought protein drinks for my child. Top of the lid, made in Canada. I like my kid to grow up big and strong. It'd be really nice if I don't have to pay an extra 25% on a $15 box of drinks for my child. Professor Tiggs getting a little personal. I'm going to go back to being Professor Tiggs. So, other things that are in there. Plastic and rubber items. Everything's made of plastic, you dipshits. And we import a fuck ton of it from China.
Rubber.
Cement and lime. We actually get most of our cement and lime that's used for road construction from Mexico. And I think Canada. We almost equal. Lumber. Fucking Canada. You thought houses were expensive before? Wait till there's 25% tariff on every piece of wood that comes out of Canada. You thought wood was expensive before? It's going to be more expensive, you idiots. Transportation
There's nothing
equipment.
worse than expensive wood.
We all have to pay for a good piece of it, too.
There is some things. And expensive silicone.
Mm-hmm. Medications. We get a lot of medications imported into this country. Companies here develop them, but then export the licenses to be developed in countries where regulations don't matter. And because they don't matter, they're just going to make it however the hell they... cereal, flour, starch, milk preparation and products. Everything that's used to make the food that people love, those instant meals, little chicken pot pies from Mirrored Calendar, will be more expensive, even if they're made here in the United States. Huh?
Nobody loves
Here's
those.
a fun fact.
Hold on. No one eats those?
I said nobody loves them.
Nobody loves them. Have you been to rural America?
I live in rural America. Well, no.
No, I'm talking rural America. We talking the Walmart is the greeting place for everyone in the town. Shit's gonna be more expensive. That dollar meal that you used to be able to get is gonna be $2 because they want to make a buck.
And they're going to make
Fun
their
last thing? Oh, they're gonna make their money. Yeah. Last one. Furniture. Where the hell do you think is everyone gonna shop from IKEA? That's like, all of your furniture, all of this damn desk comes from China. All of it does. The metal does. The people we can go base level. A lot of raw materials come from other countries. We don't do a ton of raw material from this country anymore. So if it's going to cost them more to make the material from the beginning, then, and this has been stated as being unfounded. There was actually a thing that went around, and this is another one of those fuck around, find out moments. There was this thing that was unfounded because they can't prove which company it was or who it was. But there was a thing that went around saying that a small company in Pennsylvania had canceled bonuses for their workers or their Christmas bonuses because they were going to have to use the money to buy a year's worth of supplies before the tariffs hit. There's been no real evidence that anybody specifically said that, but I would 100% believe it. There are companies that the moment that Donald Trump won and knew the tariffs were coming, were going to start buying next year's supplies before the end of this year to beat the tariffs. Because if they can prove that on January 18th of next year is when they made the purchase, they're going to do it so they can avoid the tariff.
And guess what that
And if-
means? They're still going to charge you as if they had to pay the tariff.
Absolutely. There is no chance in hell anyone is not going to take advantage of this. You can already see it at various places. Prices are already going up. And what better way to screw everybody over than just blame it on the tariffs?
Another item.
Well, it cost us more to import it because they charged us more. That's what they're going to claim.
And in some cases, they'll be telling the truth.
Let go.
But either way, so another one that I found out is going to cost more. It's a kind of a no-brainer, but your heating and cooling, it's going to cost more.
Natural gas.
Because natural gas, not only that, but like those items, your furnace, your water heater,
Your repair parts for
your
all
repair
of those
parts
things.
for all of that stuff. It may be assembled here in the good old US of A, but it is not made here.
Nope.
Because we don't have let's be real about the economy and the things about, like, we're not a maker economy here. We import and we export. We're a consumer economy. And so we don't have the infrastructure to build the small parts that these items need. We don't have the raw goods to build the parts that these people need.
But isn't the whole purpose behind the tariffs to promote American businesses?
Sure.
Professor Tig can answer that.
Yeah, Professor Tig, please answer that.
We won't. A fantastic idea was here, this is even better. I don't even have to talk about the fact that we won't do that because we don't have the infrastructure, we don't have the raw material. We're going to have to get the raw materials and assembling it here will have to meet regulations, which they're going to try to gut anyway, but it'll have to meet regulations that they don't have in fucking China or even Mexico, for God's sakes. Canada does. They actually have decent regulations on stuff. But we'll also want more pay here. We're not going to pay people $1 to do the assembly. And by the way, not $1 an hour, $1 a day. Like, we're not going to do that. The people who assemble it are going to ask for a working wage. Maybe not a livable wage, because that seems impossible nowadays, but a working wage. It will cost you more, even if we do it here. But here's another fun one. We don't even have to look at assembly and all these other things. We can look at the other fun fucking thing that they're doing. The deportations. The deportations will cost you ungodly amounts. I think the rough estimates are multiple trillions of dollars over the next 5 to 10 years. I don't think they even threw the normal 10-year number out. I think they were using 5-year numbers because, and this is a fantastic example, one of the Carolinas, I think, sent out a request for people to apply for the roughly 2,500 jobs that they needed to work fields. It might have been Florida. To be able to work fields to clear crops off because they had removed all of the undocumented workers. 273 people applied for the job. 234 were admitted and taken onto the job. Seven finished the year. They don't want your fucking job. They do the jobs you don't want to fucking do, and they do it better than you because they're better workers than you. They're stronger, they're better, and tougher than you are.
But Professor
They
K,
are.
how much money did they cost our healthcare system with all their government benefits?
Their government benefits are easily covered by the amount of taxes that they pay based upon the income that they get because they are still taxed. Immigrants, migration workers are still taxed. They still pay their taxes. In fact, they probably pay more taxes than billionaires. They put money into our economy. They put more money into our economy than they take out. They are also, and this is just something that irks me to no end, they are also more law-abiding citizens than Americans.
They are less likely to commit a crime.
People. They are less likely to commit a crime than Americans are.
Ooh, why is that?
Because they know they're going to be deported, so why the fuck do they risk that? They know they have a better opportunity here, and they want to live here. But because your dumbass loves your fucking guacamole, you don't want to do the job, though. Oh, it will be way more expensive. We import a shit ton of tomatoes and avocados from Mexico. Literally pick up an avocado bag next time you get it. It's going to say fucking Mexico. Tomatoes. Tomatoes in winter? No one grows tomatoes in winter in the United States in any volume. In any volume. But what about those greenhouses? You mean those fucking, 200-foot long, 30-foot wide greenhouses? You think they produce enough fucking tomatoes in those in winter to supply the United States? No, they grow that shit in Mexico because the weather is better there. And honestly, they have really great soil. It's a fact.
But so you're telling me that I won't be able to have my avocado toast?
You can absolutely have your avocado toast. It'll just be $24 a slice. But I don't earn a living wage. Yeah. We don't. We don't earn a living wage. And you still won't. You won't make anything more in tax breaks because it has been proven that based upon the Trump tax policy, the people under the comparison was actually there, and they put actual numbers to it. The bottom 20, the people who make up roughly 60%, 70% of the population will actually end up getting $0 extra, are owing up to $800 more a year. Let's say you do get a tax break and you get $250 fucking dollars more. Hell yeah, that's $250 more in your pocket. Are you aware that even though the ultra rich might only get a 2% tax break, that can equate to almost $4 million? Really happy you can afford gas for 3 weeks while they can buy 4 of your houses. That's the policy you idiots voted for. None of you are going to make that money in your life. None of you. But statistically, isn't there a possibility that I could... No. If you want to get into the statistical... Oh, it hasn't. That has been proven to be a lie since the first day that it was put in.
Which one?
Since the first day that Reagan made the statement of trickle-down economics, it's been proven that it doesn't happen. The rich get way fucking richer, and you see pennies.
But pennies equal dollars, Professor Tag. That's what my mommy told me. Tig's like, shut the fuck up.
Yes, pennies do equal dollar. 100 of them.
Yeah. It's just one of those things of, if people don't understand the basics of economics, the basics of what this stuff is, which has been readily available for you to look up, find out, and research. but you'd rather believe that these tariffs are going to hurt China. They're not going to hurt China. And what makes it even worse is it was proven in the 1930s that when we institute tariffs, retaliatory tariffs are placed back on us. And we won't be able to give
That's what you
or
call
to
a
sell
trade
our
war.
cars to other things. Yeah. We won't be able to get to sell our cars to Canada. We won't be able to send stuff to other countries. For the love of God, the British Prime Minister flat out said yesterday that they will side with the EU if we pull out of our Europe ties. We will be alone. And you idiots are standing on a hill, a molehill, as the tidal wave is coming. You're not going. I'm going to stand on the other side of that thing just so I can see you swept off it and laugh. Because that's where we're at. I can't wait for the fucking round and find out. I'm going to pay the price too. But you dipshits are going to stand there looking down at me because I lost. And I'm just going to look at you as you get swept away and just smile as the water hits me. Because guess what? I fucking saw it coming, but you were busy. That's the fuck around find out.
But Professor Tig, cryptocurrency's going to save me. Bitcoin's up over $100,000 a coin. And I didn't buy any of it when it was 30,000 even.
Yeah, now you're buying into it at 100,000, and you know what's great about that? Every time that cryptocurrency has seen a massive increase, buying groups that hold dozens and dozens of bitcoins and million and billionaires who can buy dozens and dozens of bitcoins are going to watch it grow and grow and grow. And when they see it slow for the slightest moment, they are going to sell, and they're going to sell before you because they're smarter than you and they can manipulate it because they control that much of it. And so when it tanks and falls off the cliff, oh yeah, when it falls off the cliff and it drops down to its $30,000 again, it will, as it has. They'll buy it all back up with the millions and millions they made. It will climb back up and they will make millions more. And because you can buy 0.00000%, because that's the amount of free money that you have, you won't make a fucking penny. And when you buy that 0.000% at $100,000 and it drops to 40, I don't even say 30, I'll say 40, you just lost. Your valuation just went from that 0.0, I'm just going to say 5 zeros, 1 to 8 zeros and a 1. Because that's just how it works. And what's even better, the security of the crypto market. Are you kidding me? Have any of you paid attention to the crypto market over the last 5-10 years?
No.
How many times have the banks, the trade things been hacked and that money has been pulled, and because it's crypto, you never see it again? How many of those groups have also gone belly up because they are committing fraud on an epic level? And when they do fold, you don't get your money back. You can't go to the bank because it's not insured.
You are playing
These pump and dumps are literally the whole thing. You're walking into a game. You're walking into a card game with $5 of chips with people who have 2 million and think you're going to pull off some kind of miracle chip in a chair moment.
They thought Bernie
What's funny is while you're looking at all these people with all these big chip stacks and going, I can do this. I can work this out. Hey, where'd my thing go? because the fucking casino walked off with it while you weren't. Crypto won't do anything. I've played the crypto game smartly, and I made a couple $100. But you know what's funny about me making a couple $100? I found out my couple $100 paled in comparison to the people that made over 10 million at the same time. But that's because they started the game with 5.
And they also cashed out before they had to pay taxes on it.
So, we say all that to say, here we are. You got it. This is what you wanted. Here's where we're at. I was going to talk about the cabinet and all that kind of stuff, but we'll get to that next week.
God. We can do that.
Yeah.
They ain't even sure who's in the cabinet right now.
We can do that next week.
Which is great, because obviously there's a possibility that Hegseth won't be the Department of Defense secretary, but fucking DeSantis will, because he's obviously got military experience.
Oh, great!
So we can chat about that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. That'll be next week. We'll talk about that next week, guys. Thank you for watching. We love you. You can find us, all 3 of us together next week for Cyberqueer.
2 weeks.
Yeah,
next week for
Cyberqueer, and then in 2 weeks we'll be back here.
Yeah.
We didn't bring anyone to the congregation.
Oh, that's
right. You have
bring
somebody?
Yeah, that's right. You do have somebody. Come on, let them in. Let them in.
Oh, one quick thing for me before we get to congregation moment. I know I seemed super serious there, but that's because I have the rage. I have the frustration. But don't worry, I am still so ready to laugh at people. So while I might have gotten serious, trust and believe I'm still laughing at every one of the idiots who think that they knew what was going on. Because it just makes me smile to see the stupidity. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to call you out as a bunch of fucking idiots.
That
look around, find
just
out.
That on that.
Now for the congregation. What you got, Tyler?
All right. So, hopefully, soon to be ex-governor Kevin Stitt come to the front of the congregation. I don't know what possibly possessed you to do this. So, to give a little backstory to this whole situation.
You could have really just left it there.
I want to hear it. Let's educate.
Back in 2005, there was a lawsuit that the state of Oklahoma, our attorney general, filed against Tyson Chicken, Simmons, and all of its subsidiaries, because there's several, for damages to our watershed, the actual drinkability of our water, due to runoff of improperly disposing of chicken waste. And there was this whole thing, and like there was this huge media frenzy that honestly probably was propagated by Tyson themselves as a counteraction of saying that they are trying to ban chicken scratch, chicken litter in farming, and these farmers are not going to be able to grow their crops and blah 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 because they're all chicken manure and chicken manure is bad, when in reality it was because they were not composting the material, they were just dumping it into our water systems. It was creating an overgrowth of phosphorus, which was causing algae blooms. And I mean, if you go to Lake Tenkiller, Grand Lake, any places that are bordering Arkansas and places where they had chicken farms, you will see how absolutely vile that water is, even still 20 years later. So back in 2020, they finally unshelved this lawsuit. This judge said he was finally going to do something about it. Big fucking stupid shit. Anyway, and so our current, basically the you can call him the EPA for Oklahoma, our state version of the EPA. He appeared in court to discuss this case. Our wonderful, benevolent governor decided to fire him for doing so. And then put out a statement on X that said that he couldn't believe that he would do that, and that this is, quote, a leftist takeover hidden in litigation. How? And how fucking stupid are you? My God. Or, conversely, Tyson paid you to shut up. Because we all know how you like to take money from other companies. Epic.
Oop, that sounded like some tea.
Epic charter schools? Oh, yeah. Yeah, back whenever we had the pandemic, he had a controlling interest in Epic charter schools. And he made sure that was like one of the that was one of the options or whatever for alternative education.
Ooh, that sounds a lot like a governor I know named Rick Scott. But anyway,
and made a fuck ton of money off of it. Yeah.
But we don't talk about that because that makes the people upset and sad because they got duped. It's not my business. You did it to yourself. I didn't do it to you. But so you mean to tell me, and here are my, welcome to my comment section. So you're telling me that it was smelling like shitty chicken out there? And they was like, more please?
Not to mention the bacteria overgrowth. Like, it was disgusting. I mean, there was like all these things about brain-eating amoebas, and still brain-eating amoebas, and
we just have to go to talk to RFK about Junior about that.
Yeah, he know about them brain worms, girl. You know what I'm saying? And listen, and before y'all start yapping y'all's dick suckers, we are free to make fun of RFK whenever we want to, because he's an idiot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he sold y'all people out. You know what I'm saying? So eat 7 bags. But at any rate, we love y'all. Anybody else got anybody to call to the carpet? Because I kind of do, but I don't really want to. We love y'all. Thank you, Tyler, for that rousing, call to the carpet. And sir,
I mean, at this point, I really want him gone. So if that means putting him on some stupid ass cabinet position for Trump just to get him out of our fucking governor's mansion, by all means, fucking take him.
I don't know about all that, girl.
Well, here's the thing about the cabinet positions. We all know from the last turn that they tend to be a revolving door. So,
yeah,
if it gets him gone and he's there for a couple months until he fucks up and gets fired, then so be it.
Okay, I see the vision. I understand. But we love y'all. And sir, may Mr. Governor of Oklahoma, may every time you step outside, you step in chicken shit. You know what I'm saying? Because, here we give out blessings, and that's a blessing. We love y'all. You guys want to give your closings? Because I'm just doing my best today.
Hi, everybody. I'm Tahir and Drayok again. You can find me at Tahir and One on most of my socials. There's quite a few things that I have thought about making videos about, but I have ADHD, so they fly out the door just as quickly as they arrive. But
When are you gonna put another? Speaking of things that fly out as soon as they arrive, when are you gonna put out another blog post?
oh yeah, my Shadows to the number 2 light blog that I have that talks about my journey of self-discovery and mental health through growing up in a red state in the Midwest and being raised in a Southern Baptist home, and then finding out my true self through my open acceptance of being a pansexual individual, as well as joining the LGBT kink and leather communities. Yeah, I'll put one of those out eventually. Thanks for that little tap in. That was great. Uh, I have, like I said, I have several that I'm working on trying to figure the way that I want to approach it, but everything else going on in the world has given me and in my personal life. So eventually there'll be a few that'll come out, and I'll try to make a habit of like prepping a few of them in advance and releasing them on a better schedule. But yeah, I'm getting there. But yeah, I'm always happy to be here and share the actual knowledge that I garner and try to put out there for people, because I want you all to be more informed. A more informed populace is a better and more aware populace. You can still vote like an idiot, but at least you'll know something after I go through one of my TIG talks.
That's a better name for it, TikToks.
Because that's at least going to hopefully make you a more informed person if you pay attention. I mean, we already know you didn't pay attention in election.
We know paying attention at your strong suit, boo.
I can try.
What about you, Tyler? What do you have going on? Cats.
Cats.
I have a lot. Cats, yes, absolutely cats. As evident in this episode, pretty much the entire time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm working on some new music, and nothing that's ready. I was working with my brother and getting a song that I have written like finalized, and it's getting much closer.
So it's gestating. You're giving birth to it.
As my cat does that, which just so happens to be the song.
Well, guys, we again, like I said, for the last 10 minutes, we love you. We'll see you next week for Cyberqueer, and in 2 weeks for another episode of Queer and Present Danger. Goodbye.